Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on a matchup between Iloveoov and Chalrenge, and this is actually game 4 of the matchup between SKT1 and OGN Sparkyz that was played earlier today on Nemesis. And I'm actually looking forward to this game because unfortunately Iloveoov, Gorilla Terran, who I'm a huge fan of, has actually been slumping for has started slumping again. He has lost his last 4 games, and I think that loss versus Flash on Monty Hall has really dented his confidence in ways that we cannot even begin to measure, because he just hasn't been the same player since that game. He lost without providing too much resistance to Iris on Geometry a couple of weeks ago, and more recently, just a few days ago, he lost to I think it was Jaedong on Shin Peaks of Bikedu. Actually, yeah, it was Jaedong on Shin Peaks of Bikedu, and he lost very uncharacteristically because he was careless and just allowed Jaedong to overwhelm him with Zerlings, and that's just not the kind of play we would expect from a player like Iloveoov, who normally makes no mistakes and is lethal in his gameplay. So I'm looking to see if maybe we will hopefully start to see a few signs of recovery from him in this game, and if he can start to regain some of that form, because he did look like he was coming back into form. And unfortunately for Iloveoov, he lost playing some good StarCraft, and this is a must-win game for SKT1, who are 1-2 down in the matchup. I didn't watch the games this morning, so I've only just seen the score now as it's popped up on my VOD. So this is a must-win game for Iloveoov if he wants to take it to an ace matchup for his team. And Iloveoov just starting up with a very standard build here. One of the things that we've seen recently on Nemesis is this rush build by Terran players versus Protoss. We've seen it done a couple of times, and Boxer obviously is the player who has pioneered it, as everything else he does pioneer. And Iloveoov going for a pretty fast tech build here. He started up his barracks and his refinery, and interestingly enough, Chalrenge is going for a Nexus. Chalrenge is going for a fast expand. He's gone straight for Nexus without building anything. So Chalrenge has gone for 14 Nexus, and it's very interesting to see Protoss players do that. I'm surprised that he hasn't even started scouting after having seen what has been the fate of other Protoss players on maps like this. After having seen players like Bisu rush twice in a row, I would have thought that Protoss players would be much more aware and would start scouting earlier on to make sure that they're not going to be restricted to a similar fate. They're not going to be consigned to a similar fate. But Iloveoov doesn't seem to be blocking off his ramp, so it doesn't look like he has an intention of rushing. Chalrenge only now putting up that gateway after that first Nexus, and if Iloveoov was rushing him, Chalrenge would be in a huge amount of trouble. Chalrenge now finally sending out a probe to scout around the map, but that ramp is probably going to be blocked off by a couple of Marines by the time he gets around, so he's not going to be able to scout what Iloveoov is building behind his ramp. But Iloveoov certainly hasn't blocked that ramp, so excuse me, it doesn't seem to me that Iloveoov is going for some sort of a rush. Iloveoov now finally blocking that ramp, and Iloveoov is building a factory, so Iloveoov going for a fairly standard build versus Protoss here. Iloveoov not fast expanding, he's just gone for standard tech build, possibly one factory into command center, and Chalrenge might find himself a little bit of trouble because he's only got that gateway up now. He is getting his tech up, so if Iloveoov, and Chalrenge now with the second gateway as well as the Cybernetic score, so Iloveoov will need to do significant damage to Chalrenge kind of early on, because otherwise Chalrenge is going to have a huge advantage in terms of economy. And Iloveoov with that single Marine has now scouted Chalrenge's base. He obviously hasn't. He needs to work that Marine around and try and see whether or not Chalrenge has put up that Nexus, because otherwise he's not going to know. He's not going to have that information. Iloveoov has scouted, but he hasn't gone. He didn't send that Marine all the way around. And Chalrenge with 4 probes has now blocked up his ramp, so that SCV is not going to get around. And that's a bit careless from Iloveoov. And again, it's a sign to me that he isn't at his best, that he isn't playing the best StarCraft that he should be playing. And I think his teammates are just remarking on the fact that Iloveoov did not send that Marine around to scout that natural expo hidden within the base of the starting spawn locations of a Nemesis map, and Iloveoov didn't scout that. So Iloveoov, I don't think, knows that Chalrenge has gone for that fast Nexus. Just judging from what he saw in Chalrenge's base alone, he wouldn't be able to tell that. But Iloveoov is taking up. He's already got that machine shop up, so he should have vultures out pretty soon. Chalrenge doesn't have anything to defend himself against spider mines, though. He doesn't seem to have got a robotics facility up yet, or an observatory. So he might be in a little bit of trouble if he doesn't manage to block that ramp, if he doesn't manage to block Iloveoov from getting up that ramp. And Iloveoov obviously is going to find himself, but Iloveoov needs to do significant damage with his push here. He's going to be probably pushing out. Perhaps he might be going for, I'm not sure if he's going for vultures or if he's researching siege check, and Chalrenge just being the pylon at the 9 o'clock base just to make sure that Iloveoov doesn't get a base there. And Iloveoov is going for siege check, and Iloveoov is actually pushing out. Iloveoov is doing a a kind of a rush. Uvi is bringing all of his SCVs out. He's bringing his tank as a couple of Marines and all of his SCVs, and this is very dangerous by Uvi. Chalrenge has scouted this. He's seen it with that hidden probe just hidden south of Uvi's base. Chalrenge has got a couple of Dragoons and a Zealot. Uvi just with one tank, 4 Marines and SCVs. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Chalrenge is bringing out all of his probes from his natural expansion that he's set up, and he's going to be able to use them to fight against Uvi, and this seems a little bit of a risky strategy by Uvi to me, and Uvi not trying to push up that ramp. He's only got a tank and a couple of Marines. He's using his SCVs to try and block. He's got a Vulture coming out now as well, so Uvi needs to try and kill it, do as much damage as he can to Chalrenge's economy. Chalrenge thus far doing a great job of holding Uvi off that top of the ramp, using his probes to great effect, and trying to fight off Uvi from getting up that ramp. Chalrenge defending with 3 Dragoons and a Zealot, and Chalrenge feels that he's defending successfully. Uvi's lost all of his SCVs, so it looks to me like Uvi's rush has failed. Uvi's lost all of his SCVs. Chalrenge had his 2 gateways up, so he was able to have enough Dragoons up in time. The fact that he went for those 2 gateways rather than trying to tech up fast. Uvi has got Spider Mine, so he has set up that mine with the Vulture, but that's not going to make any difference now. And that Spider Mine almost went off, and the Spider Mine goes off. Oh my god, the Spider Mine takes off all of Chalrenge's probes, but I don't think a lot of Chalrenge's probes, but I don't Chalrenge will mind because he's still got 2 Dragoons. Uvi sacrificed all of his SCVs in that attack. Chalrenge has still got about 5 probes in his main, and he's also got a few probes in his Nexus. Uvi has a lot of SCVs, so Uvi has at least equalized in terms of economy, if not gone ahead of Chalrenge, but Uvi has not inflicted enough damage. I feel Chalrenge is still going to be able to catch up because Uvi is not going to be able to follow through up that attack. Uvi now has got another Vulture out, and Uvi just trying to plant the Spider Mine down. Chalrenge focusing on that Vulture. Uvi trying to push Chalrenge further and further back into his main. Chalrenge now bringing out the probes, and I'm not sure if he's going to try and take down. He's going to try and take down the tank with those probes, and this is brilliant play from Uvi. I thought that he was actually going to fail, but that one Spider Mine when it took out all of those probes, that's really changed the focus of the game. Uvi with a lot of SCVs still in his main. Chalrenge has retreated, and Chalrenge managed to surround Uvi's tank with those probes, but Chalrenge seems like he's just fighting with a single Zealot now, and Uvi's got another Spider Mine there, so it looks like Uvi's actually going to be able to pull off the victory there. Absolutely brilliant play by Uvi. It was touch and go for a while there, and had Chalrenge not brought those probes back in at the final time, I think he would have won. That last Spider Mine that took out all of Chalrenge's probes killed his economy, and he wasn't then able to produce any more units. Uvi, even though he committed a lot of SCVs to that attack, still had enough SCVs in his main to continue to reinforce his troops, and therefore Uvi is going to come out with the victory, and Uvi just finishing off the last of Chalrenge's probes. So brilliant game by Uvi. Can't believe he came out on top. That was an incredibly exciting game. GG, well played Uvi, and hopefully this will be the beginning of a return to form for him, at least in the Pro League, if not in the individual Star Leagues in the next season. So well played Uvi, GG. I'm really glad to see him win again. Unfortunate for Chalrenge, he was very unlucky with that Spider Mine, but Uvi did obviously try and plan that to some extent.